But my thing now is like WWE has gotten to such a massive point that like you can use it as a launching point, and you have an even bigger chance of it actually being successful now because of how mainstream WWE is. You go back 20 years and it's just a little niche thing. You know what I mean? It's like it went from the niche thing that people like, oh, you watch wrestling, to the Attitude Era where everyone was watching wrestling. And then it went back down to the niche thing. Oh, you still watch wrestling? And now it's back at that mainstream level where you can say, oh, I fucking love wrestling openly, and you won't get no sneers from nobody except old heads who don't understand. You know what I mean? That's it.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that really started with WrestleMania 40.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. That is the biggest story told in WWE, period. Hands down, no doubt. And that's crazy because we have Stone Cold versus The Rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you have so many big moments in WWE.
So many massive moments. And Rhodes versus Roman. Two new guys, or newish guys, right? But like two guys from this generation. They're the biggest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see like a match for like a bunch of superstars. They're all relevant. They're all cool. I love all of them, and none of them were in the era I grew up in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see that because I'm like, wow, yeah, like WWE's really doing good right now. Their talent pool is just amazing. They don't have to hang on to any of the old guys. They got all these new guys, and they're fucking talented. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's great.
I mean, the Rumble is a great example of that. You had a Rumble with CM Punk and John Cena in it, and you had Jey Uso win.
Yeah. And
I mean, Jey Uso's a veteran in his own right, but his name wasn't big until recently.
The 20s.
Yeah, the 20s.
And what's crazy to add to that is that it doesn't seem like a ripoff. I mean, some people may disagree. Oh, it should have been Punk. Oh, it should have been Cena. They're gonna get WrestleMania matches anyway.
Yeah,
Come on.
They're gonna
All
be
right, stop it.
It's Cena and Punk.
People defend that shit so heavily, and I think the reason why is because they're kind of too far into kayfabe, and they think like, oh, Punk should be having the title match. He deserves the title. He deserves the championship. I'm like, bro, Punk's getting paid either way, and he's gonna have a crazy good match at Mania, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him hold the title, absolutely, when the time is right. Do I prefer them giving it to a newer guy, or him going up against Gunther, who is like the best heel in the company right now? Yes, absolutely. Oh, besides Roman, but I guess he's a face now, right?
Yeah, technically.
Actually, Drew McIntyre might be the best heel, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would agree, actually.
Drew and then Gunther. Gunther's there, you know what I mean? But I can say like the best pure wrestler right now. Yeah, I'd give it to him.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll say one of the best heels in the company right now. Either one, you get it. Damn it, you know. I can't believe like people are like so fervently against that decision. It makes no sense to me. It's like this is the guy. What are we doing? This is the guy we've been pumping up for so many years. You know what I mean? The guy who's been consistent for so long. You know. It's like, oh, he just got famous off a name. That's it. It's like, no. He got famous off a movement. He got famous off of his promos. His promos is the biggest one. The guy walked the walk and talked the talk. And while he's not the greatest performer in the world, he's got great, consistent promos. He added to a dynamic that was considered cinema by most people with the Bloodline story. I mean, the guy deserves a chance, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like I said, like you could say, oh, but it would be better if this person won, if this person won. It's like everyone's got their subjective taste, but you cannot say that Jay is a bad decision. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. He's really not.
No, absolutely not. You know, when I saw him win and Cena get eliminated, I was like, no fucking way. You know what I mean? Like, but then after the shock of a minute, I'm like, good for Jay. You know what I mean? Like, good for Jay.
Exactly.
Look at that fucking guy. You know what I mean? That's it.
And it's crazy because it made me pay attention. Because, you know, for a minute there, I was like, oh, you know, John's got it. He's winning. And then he didn't. And as soon as both feet hit the floor, I'm like, oh, shit. I got to, like, sit up in my seat. What the fuck just happened? I got to pay attention.
I feel like that little 30-second gap of shock, a lot of people don't experience that full gap. What they do is in the middle of that shock, they either tweet about it or talk to people who are around them about it. And so they all like kind of breed that shock opinion rather than their finalized opinion. And so their shock opinion becomes their finalized opinion.
Exactly.
For example, oh my God, John Cena just fucking won. I mean, John Cena just fucking lost. And then they talk over to their friends like John Cena lost. And then you see everyone sad. And then now you're sad. And now you're not forming your own thing. I was like, you know what? Good for Jay. Now all of a sudden it's like breeding dislike and kind of bitterness towards Jay. He's like, we could have got John. You know what I mean? But if you're sitting there alone watching the show like I was, shut up. Just taking the shock. And then you look at Jay's face. Instead of dismissing it and walking off, you look at Jay's face. Look how happy the fucking guy is. You're on the verge of fucking tears.
Yeah. Bro brought his son into the ring.
Yeah, real. And so what I'm thinking is, you know what, Jay? Good for you. And you know what I thought in that moment? I thought, this is like Rey Mysterio shit. You know what I mean? This is like this is like when Eddie won the title. You know what I mean? Like this is
he's so over.
That level of over is crazy. The guy is talented and that's it. I mean, what more could you want? People are like, oh, we could have had Punk. We could have had... Yo, I understand that. But Punk's going to have a good match at Mania anyway. What are we doing, guys? He's going to have a great match at Mania. Rollins going to have a great match at Mania. Drew, great match. Why wouldn't they? They're the best in the company. Of course they're going to be at Mania. Why does it have to be for a title? I just want good stories.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. It doesn't have to be for a title. Y'all act like Punk needs it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially at this point in his career, like he needs to be fucking champion.
You know, it's like let me tell you something. Punk literally put on a 5-star Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. Me and Squito were there. All right, he put on a 5-star level match at Bad Blood. That guy is consistent. He is great at what he does. He puts on great matches with Seth Rollins on a fucking Raw episode. You know? Like, that guy is next level at what he does. We know this. Do we really need the belt as an elevator? We don't need it. So why are we so fervently angry that he's not going up for the belt? It's like we don't need it to up the hype. A match like Sammy versus Gunther and that 4-year reign... That with adding the title on top of it, that's how you elevate a match. With Punk Punk v Gunther, it's like the championship kind of feels null and void. You're getting Punk and Gunther, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now Punk versus Cody, that's different. I see you, and with that decision, I'll even say, you know what? I would prefer to see that match. Absolutely.
For sure.
But we act like that match is never going to happen. Come on.
It's, definitely at some point it's happening.
100%. You know?
I mean, they've been teasing it since last year before the Royal Rumble, when they were the final two. They were the final two at last year's Rumble.
It's going to happen, damn it. And when it happens, it's going to be glorious. We're just not there yet. Right, guys?
That's true.
People always say, wrestling is in cinema. Why do the young kids nowadays, they say, let them cook? Because y'all never let shit cook.
Yeah.
Y'all like this shit raw for no reason. It makes no sense. Have you learned nothing from the last 4 years? Have you learned nothing since Vince has been taken away from WWE? Have you not noticed the quality of matches going up? Because things are actually properly rehearsed and planned?
Yeah.
Oh my God, fucking shocker. You know?
It's that long-term storytelling. It's like so many people were mad at WrestleMania 39 when Cody lost. Like, oh, it was his time. He should have won the belt. Roman doesn't need to be champion for another year. And then look at how big 40 was.
Bro, next level. Really, next level. Now, I'm just really... The thing is, you know damn well they didn't plan that shit, right? But
Yeah.
I really like that they ended up doing that. Because it was probably like a vague plan. It's like, oh, you'll win it next year, kid. And then The Rock came in. It's like, you know what, actually?
I think Cody was going to win. He was going to win the title regardless at some point.
At some point. He needed to. The way they built it up, people would literally be angry with WWE if Cody didn't win it at some point. You know? Because of Dusty.
For sure.
I'm sorry, but the way they were building up Cody around Dusty and how Dusty never won the championship, he held the title once, but he wasn't really his, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, they would be shooting themselves in the foot if Cody was never champion, you know?
Yeah.
So, but he's smart. Okay, the main thing for me here is this, all right? People don't like the fact that WWE's in the longer-term storytelling now and how we're dragging it out with every show. It's like, guys, let me just talk to you real quick, all right? let's think about this. You're watching this show because you love the stories, you love wrestling, right? Well, you get both of them. You get the shows for free or with a Netflix subscription. I guess it's like $7-8 with ads, however much, right? And then you get a PLE for Peacock, which is like $6-7 a month. You are no longer paying for cable, which is $50-$60. You know what I mean? What's the word? A month. And you are no longer paying for pay-per-views, which is another $40-$60. All right. The cost has gone down. The quality of content has gone up, and we're still complaining. You know, like, don't get me wrong. You should definitely complain and nitpick at things like this so they can get better. Absolutely. But to dismiss the whole show as, oh, things have gotten so trash lately and Paul is a terrible booker. I'm sorry. Paul is a terrible booker. Look at where WWE is right now. Vince didn't do that shit. All right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Paul did that solely. Of course it wasn't. It was a fucking team effort. But you cannot say shit like Paul is a terrible booker. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, I can't. The people can say small stuff like, oh, I don't like that there's no promos at the PLEs. I hear you. And you know what? I agree. But to say Paul is a terrible booker, y'all overstate that shit. Y'all just throw terrible out. Y'all throw that, oh, Shawn Michaels to take over everything. It's like, wait. Calm down. Paul is doing really good, and he's steering the ship really well. It's not perfect. It will never be perfect. All right? Just call out decision by decision and say, hey, this could have been better. This could have been better. Just dismiss the whole fucking thing. You know? But that's what people on the internet like to do because it's quick and it gets clicks. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's stupid.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's no longer good or bad. Or, I mean, there's no, like, middle of the road. It has to be good or bad.
It's got to be polarizing.
Yeah. And if it's one tiny thing that you didn't like, it's automatically the worst thing in the world. That's how so many people look at shit now. And... like, okay, the current WWE landscape isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than it was 10 years ago.
Oh, don't even start it with fucking like 2010, 2013, fucking like, I'm telling you right now, that shit was so fucking boring, it was ridiculous. You only cared about the main event stuff. That's it, you know? Now I care about the whole card. I want to see these guys fucking fight each other. Not only because I'm invested, because I've been spending a lot more time. I've been spending a lot more time with the show because it's better. All right? I would not for the life of me put up with like fucking mid 2010s. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. It's what it is. I'm sure some people, oh, that's my favorite era. Okay, listen, you're not a sucker for it. You like it. It's what it is. I'm saying I couldn't. The quality has gone up since then dramatically. All right?
Yeah.
It's gone up dramatically since the Attitude Era, right? It goes into Ruthless Aggression with all the big hard hitters, right? And then it kind of decreases through the PG era. Right? PG era up to like 2022. I can't. You know what I mean? But then you got this new gen, and it's just so much better quality wise. How could I not be a WWE fan right now? Yeah. And so people look at all that progress and they say, nah, it's still ass though. Like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I mean, for me, I got back into WWE with WrestleMania 39. And I mean, you can ask Big Time. I still talk about WrestleMania 39.
Real.
Because to me, you know, I've gone back and I've rewatched WrestleManias from my childhood. I've gone back and rewatched WrestleManias that I've missed. And even after all of that, with where I'm at now as a WWE fan, I think WrestleMania 39 is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And I think it's representative of where the product is now. And WrestleMania 40 is still really fucking good. But 39, I think, for me, was that perfect. It was just a lot of things coming together perfectly that got me back into watching wrestling. Because WrestleMania 39 was my first show back after years of not watching the product. And I didn't know a lot of the people on the card, but I was into it. I loved the build-up for the storylines. I love so much of what they were doing with it, and the matches were all bangers. So 39, I think, it's overall just a true representation overall of what the WWE is now and how much better it has gotten.
It's definitely the most rounded out. Absolutely. Well, shadow of a doubt. Compared to WrestleMania 40, where it's like, okay, we can get rid of like 5 of these matches. What are we doing?
I mean, who remembers Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament? Like,
who?
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh. That's real, dog. Nah, I say it. I say it loud and proud. This generation right now, where we are right now, it's peak. It's peak WWE. Don't get me wrong. Attitude Era, so many great moments, so competitive, absolutely. But where we are right now, with how far things have come in the women's division, how far things have come with treating superstars correctly, with with medical, with getting the proper medical clearance before performing, not having that undue pressure, and having wrestlers take painkillers. Just from a company standpoint, they're doing the best they've ever done right now. Yeah. Just from the company standpoint. Now, from a viewer's perspective, let's take the company perspective out. All right. From the viewer's perspective, you have the most diverse content in the world, wrestling content in the world right now. I'm sorry. You got it from all different angles. Okay. Yeah. If you come from Mexico, you got Rey Mysterio, you got Penta, you got all that representation from the luchador. If you come from Puerto Rico, you got Damian fucking Priest. What better person to represent PR than fucking Damian Priest? Real. Okay? If you got Ireland, you got our boy Sheamus, bro. Come on. Sheamus is peak. Like, this isn't just bland representation. This is representation from people who are actually fucking talented. Germany, you got Gunther. All right, come on now. Good. Is it Germany or Austria? Fuck, let me see.
Austria, I think.
Austria. You fucking Austria. Yeah. All of y'all, I won't say that. Okay, all of y'all from over there. Yeah, you got all that representation for some of the best fucking wrestler in the company right now. America's been had all that representation. If you want to talk about what's the word? If you want to talk about representation in general, they got it all, bro. It's all there. It's all vibrant, and the show is for everybody, man. They make it as diverse as possible, and a lot of it doesn't feel forced because these guys are genuinely talented. They're really good at what they do, and their storylines fucking hit. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Penta. All right, you cannot tell me within a million years that guy's a diversity hire. Don't give me that shit. All right, that guy is legit every fucking step of the way.
I love Penta, bro.
I love Penta. That guy is peak.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to take another aspect just to show how good WWE is right now, look at this, how they deal with celebrities. Like Bad Bunny fighting Damian Priest at Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Dude, his entrance in PR was peak, bro.
It's so good.
Was he out there with like a pull? Was it a kendo stick and a garbage can? Some shit. He went out there, his fucking music came on.
The kendo stick was wrapped with like the Puerto Rican flag, and then he took out a whole shopping cart full of weapons. I mean, you can't get better than that. And he put on a banger of a match.
Oh my god.
And then, I mean, look at how much dedication Logan Paul has put into his in-ring work. He's athletic. He's good.
He's a celebrity guy. Let me just preface it by saying I think Logan Paul is definitely near the scum of the earth. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes about wrestling technique and talent, the guy's got it. You know what I mean?
He's got it. Yeah.
Absolutely. The guy's got it. I mean, como se dice, that they're pushing these guys is ridiculous. I mean, right now, Logan Paul's being pushed to the fucking moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's in a chamber match. He's not going to win, but he's in it.
No, I mean, he was in last year's chamber match, too. They put him in the ring with Drew and Randy Orton and all these guys.
That's another way they got better. Let me add another way that they got better, okay? They got really good at understanding, when to use extreme. You know what I mean? They've shown a lot of restraint over the past couple years. When stuff has gotten really fucked up, like really extreme, it's a Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. It's a Cody v. Kevin in a ladder match. You know what I mean? When stuff gets really extreme, it's really saved for when it's the most effective. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, you go back 10 years, there's a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know?
I think we still need something else besides the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Because it has dumbed down the quality of that match, in my opinion. But it is a gimmick match, and I understand why they still keep it.
Right, because you need. I feel like World WrestleMania needs to be consistent, right? So I hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Royal Rumble. You know, it's like that annual, gimmick match.
You know what? I will say this about Elimination Chamber. I understand that they're talking about the safety of the wrestlers, all that. I hear you. But making the sides of the Elimination Chamber like the ground and mats instead of metal, I'm sorry, I don't see it. Sorry.
The danger's not there.
Listen, I understand, all right? Hey, people are landing on their fucking necks. Like, I go to old matches and I see how they land. That shit hurts. Of course, I see it. But this is a fucking elimination chamber match, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. If you put mats on the floor and only have them fucking crash into the fucking the steel outside, it's like, sorry, I don't see it. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. It doesn't track for me. It really doesn't. You know what? You know what? If they do continue to do that, which we all know they will, in fact, they probably should, safety-wise, right? I need to see more people being fucking speared and slammed through the pods. I need to see it. All right? I need to see somebody escape an elimination chamber. I need to see it.
That'd be interesting.
I need to see somebody come in with bolt cutters and rip the fucking whatever the fuck off, right? And then maybe like he gets up on the top, somebody chases after him, and he jumps off the cage. Like, I want to see it. You know what I mean? I need to see some more variation with that match because right now it's feeling like a 5v5 Survivor Series shit. You know what I mean? Just there for the tradition. And while I do like tradition, I think you can do a lot more with that match. Absolutely. So.
And I feel like they're also suffering with like War Games even recently. Yeah. Because, like, War Games is cool, but last year, it felt like a lot of bullshit was coming together to, like, make a storyline, you know, to have these people face off at War Games. You could just do brand warfare War Games. Like, for a while, Survivor Series was, like, Raw versus SmackDown. Why not do Raw versus SmackDown War Games? Nick Aldis versus Adam Pearce. You know, I'd fucking watch that.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
And solid rosters.
And you'd make their characters interesting. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, and maybe even for 1 year you go back to the 5v5 just to see how it hits. Right. Maybe you form a storyline out of it. Instead of brand warfare, you have a storyline based 5v5, you know, Survivor Series elimination match.
Well, what I need to see is with brand warfare is I need to see invasions. You know what I mean? I need to see them come in WCW style and just fucking lose it, right? Like, come on, guys. Let's do it like you did with the ECW. Let's go all out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I got really interested in, like, I went back and watched Survivor Series. I think it was 2019, where they brought in NXT. So it's like 5v5v5 elimination. That was fun. That was a good match. So I feel like they should do something like that. You know, bring NXT into Survivor Series, elevate that brand a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy. NXT. I love NXT, but it feels so niche. It's like so separated from the main roster now.
And you know what's crazy about that? It feels niche. I agree with you. Yet it's still got way more viewers than AEW. Like, how is that a thing? I'm just saying. Meanwhile, AEW's got its own 2 shows. It's got pay-per-views and shit. NXT's like, we got developmental. And people are like, take my money. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's crazy. Jesus.
And honestly, like, I'm not trying to glaze NXT, but like a lot of the problems that people have with main roster booking, I think NXT does not have any of those issues.
I hear you.
NXT is good through and through, bro. Well, you're getting quality content.
See, what I like about NXT, and this is kind of applies to the Shawn Michaels and the Paul Levesque conversation, is that with Shawn Michaels, when he makes a decision, it's like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want a booking decision, if the crowd is leaning a certain way, it's like that. It's quick, on the go. All day, every day, where I need to be, right? But if you go over to Paul Levesque, if he wants to make a big decision, changing up the champions, you got hurdles, bro. Listen, it's not like I know the inner machinations of WWE. But I 100% believe that Shawn Michaels has a hell of an easier time getting his decisions through creative than Paul Levesque does. Let's be frank here, all right? Because Paul Levesque's got, what's that one? It's not RKO. What's the big one?
TKO.
TKO.
Yeah, TKO Holdings.
Paul Levesque's got TKO. Paul Levesque's got those wrestlers and their media representatives. You know what I mean? Like, they's got all these things. And not only that, if there's something big where it requires, like, stunt guys or they have to be notified. Like, listen, all right? Like I said, it's not like I know everything, but I know damn well that the process is a lot more complicated for Paul than it is for Shawn. I'm just being frank. All right.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, NXT is really good at keeping things simple.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, this guy's over. Okay, make him a #1 contender. Have him get a title match, win the title.
Right. Even if he's champion for like a month. Right? Yeah, of course. But
it's efficient.
Right. Exactly. It's quick. It's where it needs to be. You know what I mean? In that moment, you can feel where the crowd needs it to go, and you can make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the equivalent to calling an audible. I love it.
Yeah.
But como se dice? But when it comes to the big roster stuff like that, takes time to develop. You know what I mean? And I feel like as como se dice, comparing Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels, and when it comes to their efficiency of running things, it's very unfair. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, NXT is just good. If you don't watch NXT, watch NXT. You're missing out, honestly.
I need to get back on that train. I really do. I watched like one pay-per-view a while back, and I didn't watch anything after that. I need to get back on that.
I know they got some good shit there.
Stand and deliver.